And any time that we are tardy to the party, shall we say, that's us knucking and bucking against colonialism. So, I say be late and shit. Be tardy to the party. It's okay. You guys ever been to the Caribbean or been to Africa? The people don't pay attention to the time. So, like, party time is when the party starts, right? So the party's starting right now. Thank you guys so much for making the time to hang out and join me today on Burn It Down with Kim Brown. I've got a good show for you, I believe. Today is going to be a little bit of a scaled down show because our good brother Will so our we have an assistant we have an assistant button pusher that I can hear everything coming through the computer. So if they would not mind muting themselves, that would be extremely helpful. Thank you so much. So like I said, Will is taking a vacation day. So the good brother Latif has volunteered to push some buttons, and and we appreciate and thank Latif for doing the service for the Fire Fam on today. So guys, let me see y'all in the chat. Give it up for Latif coming out of the chat to actually help to push buttons in addition to mod tonight. So thank you so much to brother Latif. I almost thought he was going to say something, but that's okay if you don't. It's cool. We appreciate all the contributions, So anyway, guys, first of all, shout out to Gangrene Thumb. Thank you so much for your early super chat support, Gangrene Thumb. Hey, can Latif? I need you to mute. Can you mute? I need you to mute over there because I'm hearing. So thank you. Shout out again to Gangrene Thumb. Thank you so much for your super chat support. And guys, like I said, we are in the middle of a little bit of a mini fundraiser. We're trying to raise, I think I said $700. It's actually 8, but whatever. If we raise $700, I think we'll survive. But Will's computer, it's muerto, right? It died, right? It's now Will's computer is no longer with us. So we're trying to raise some funds because this is kind of like an emergency situation, to be honest, because it is, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's extremely difficult for Will to put the show together without the assistance of a computer that can keep up to the task, right? So any ways that you guys can contribute, we appreciate the super chats. You guys were extremely generous with your super chats. Jay, look at Jesus. Look at the Lord. Thank you so much for that. I certainly appreciate that. Thank you. Wait a minute. Y'all know I cannot half ass read, but thank you so much. Harmony, appreciate that. Thank you so much for your super chat support. Yes, listen, thank you. Thank you. We I don't know. I think we raised maybe 200 so far. Who am I? Wait, how does that work? Am I the patron or y'all the Patreon? Whatever. If you support people on Patreon charges y'all, the supporters, on the 1st, but the creators usually don't get that money till the 6th. So the 6th is Monday. So what we got right now, plus the patrons, we should be able to order Will computer come Monday. But we're gonna take a little we're gonna take a little so if you guys could help in any way to help us kind of offset that, we'd appreciate that. And you guys know we ask for support during our fundraising efforts by and large. So for us to come with like an emergency with like hat in hand, like y'all know for real something happened. I mean, everyone's alive except for the computer, of course. but anyway, anyways that you can. Thank you so much to Harmony getting us started. Thank you so much to Gangrene Thumb If you want to hit us on the cash platforms, $ BIDWKB, Venmo at BIDWKB, PayPal.me/BIDWKB. Guys, come on in here, give the video a like, a thumbs up, engage with us. Hold on, let me get into the chat and say what's up to my folks here before I start to get rolling on this show here. And I'm actually gonna respond to some comments that I got. And guys, you normally don't see your homie dipping into the comments for content. And it's no particular reason that I don't do that. I just think, and let me say this, the overwhelming majority of the comments, at least that I read, at least the one that I my brain allows me to see, the overwhelming majority of those are positive. So for everyone that leaves us positive comments, Teresa, you are a notorious positive comment leaver. So is Social Twerker. What's up, Social Twerker? Thank you so much for your wonderful support in the comments. But I saw some dipshitty comments, because sometimes, for reasons, my shit, the right wing will pick up on my stuff, and then all of a sudden I'll get all these, all these mouth breathers in my fucking comments. And the reason I usually don't respond to comments, it just takes a little bit too much energy. Because y'all, I believe it or not, you could not tell this present day, by my present level of social media engagement. But I did used to be all on the social medias, arguing with people, dropping links, citations, trying to back up my argument. And what I found was, that's a waste of time. Because very seldom are you freeing minds and opening hearts out here. You know what I'm saying? If you're having these debates, especially on Twitter, um, especially with those of an opposing political ilk. Like I said, I did used to engage with conservatives, and then I realized, why in the hell? Why would anybody take time to do that? You know what I mean? Because these motherfuckers, that whiteness is a drug. It's a drug. That shit's harder than cane, man. That whiteness is that white for real. You know what I'm saying? That's that white. You don't want it because you're not going. It's hard to get off it, right? John Kemper, thank you so much, John Kemper, for your super chat support. For the brother Will, thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. We appreciate that, John Kemper. Thank you for the support that you sent before, as well. Of course, my nose started to itch as soon as I done came on the TV and shit. So hold on, let me say what's up to y'all before we get started. So anyway, I just wanted to say a couple things. I usually don't give a fuck about what the right wing got to say, think, or do about any fucking thing, but we'll make some time tonight. Hello, Tyler, my son. How's your birthday week going, baby? Shout out to the Tauruses. It's Taurus season. It's gonna be mighty bullish in the streets. Ain't that right, Tauruses? Mighty bullish. Mighty bullish. What's going on, Holly, my sister? Big dumb animal. Come through with the cool ass screen name. Appreciate you. Big dumb animal. Great name. Great name. Who else we got in here? What's up? What's up, Steve Dub? Thank you so much for making the time. Like I said, shout out to Gangrene Thumb. What's up to Helpful Ham? Oh, Helpful Harm. Thank you for making the time. Oh, did someone else run us some bucks? Look at that. You guys, Jesus came through on tonight. Look at Jesus. Jesus out here doing this thing. And Allah. Inshallah. We will take it all. Oh, wait. Now, God damn it. Now I can't even fucking motherfucking see the shit. This is bullshit. But anyway, I think it says Alicia, but hold on. I will check this in a minute. Everything is blacking out on me. Thank you. Do me a favor, guys. Engage. And do me a favor. Be sure to go over and like, and subscribe and follow Black Power Media. in its current iteration. I'm certain you all watched the Remix Morning Show this week, or rather the channel at large this week. You know, I'd actually like to get y'all's thoughts and see what you think. I have to say, I did go back and read the chat from Thursday's morning show, and Remix Morning Show chat is motherfucking funnier than goddamn Def Comedy Jam out this bitch. Like the Remix Morning Show chat got jokes, beloveds. I mean, and outstanding jokes. I said, look at my generation. I said, I recognize Gen X humor all day long. And I love it. It is the best. It is unfuckwittable. You niggas could never, okay? You could never fuck with my generation when it comes to getting these jokes off, regardless of the situation, right? You know, because we're very disassociated from trauma, right? So we can absolutely make jokes in the face of crazy shit happening. So I just wanted to say thank you all. David Silberg, your contribution. I'd like to acknowledge the contribution of David Silberg, of A Rob, of one Zenzi Bell. You know, like y'all, of one Ricky Ryan. Y'all. I'm sorry. I don't even know what I'm laughing at. What am I even laughing at? Nothing. I don't even know what's going on over here. Anyway, thank you guys so much. Stoner Lunar, thank you so much. What y'all in here saying? Yeah, yeah, come on in. Do the things. Do the things. Thank you so much, Brother Latif, in here pressing buttons, y'all. Let's see how this go. This is backup Will. Latif, aka backup Will. We'll take it. We'll take it. Don't even tell Will he got a backup out here, y'all, because then we're gonna be taking all kinds of days off. You know what I'm saying? We are not a union. we we do not have union thing going on over here. We do not. So thank you guys so much. Yo, I'm sorry. Are the Snows in the building? Does that say Ricardo Snow? Muchas gracias, hermano. That's my bruv, y'all. Thank you, Rich. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's love. We need a computer out here. We're trying to get the new computer status out here. Rich, thank you, Rich. Thank you so much. Shout out to the wife, DS. Shout out to the boys, them boys. Woo! That's what I love to see. Thank you so much, Snows. So, guys, we're gonna get started on the show here. Hold on, someone else. Oh, Rich, wait, Rich, you broke us off 2 times. Rich, you broke us off 2 times. That's what I'm talking about. Big Bank. Yes. Thank you, Snows. Thank you, Snows. That's what I'm talking about. That's the love. Big up to Philadelphia IA in the building. What's up to the PGH in the building? Thank you, Snows. Thank you. Thank you. All right, you guys. I know I've said it 1,000,000,000 times. Now we're actually going to get started. My apologies. Everything I'm moving in slow motion tonight, and I did. Well, I can't. I guess it doesn't qualify as wake and bake at 7:30 in the evening. So if the question is, have I consumed cannabis in the most recent hour? The answer would be yes. Of course, of course. It's me, y'all. It's y'all's friend. It's Kim. what you expect? So anyway. So let me focus here. Engage with the video, everybody. Like, share, subscribe, follow us here. Burn it down with Kim Brown on YouTube, anywhere else across the internet at BIDWKB. So obviously, the country has been talking about the spread of the pro-Palestinian, not only demonstrations and protests, but the students becoming way more organized and much more sophisticated and very explicit in their demands of their universities, More specifically, lots of student organizations are insisting that their universities divest any financial interest they have in Israel or companies, corporations associated with the state of Israel or that support the state of Israel. And these kids are being very direct and very specific about that. And as you see, the children have been met with intense repression, with police violence, and with being punished punitively by their administrations, right? Ultimately, what these kids are doing is exercising their right to free speech. But as you see in America, when you try to stand up for marginalized and oppressed people, especially those being oppressed by white supremacy, by white colonialism, which the state of Israel is absolutely is doing to the Palestinians in Gaza, you're going to be met with state violence, right? Like, I didn't see nobody at the Ukrainian pro-Ukrainian protest get bopped upside the head. Did anybody see? Did anybody notice? Anybody? Okay. So a couple of the comments that I have, and to be clear, I didn't write them joints down. Nor did I take photos of them, nor am I going to read them verbatim. I'm just going to give y'all the gist of some of these bogus ass comments that I know have been left by members of the right wing. And you know what? And it's very difficult these days to try to figure out exactly who the right wing are, because in 2024 in America, moderates are the new conservatives, right? And conservatives are the new extremists. So when we say right wing, there's a lot of fucking liberal Democrats out here also sounding quite white ring or white right wing. It's all the same. The right wing and the white wing are on the same bird. The right wing and the white wing and the left wing. Shit. I mean, if we talk about Republicans, Democrats, but regardless, we know Democrats are not left. But anyway. So some of the comments that I got under a video that Molly brilliantly named with fascism right there in the title. People have been responding, well, if you want to look up the history of fascism, you'll find a lot of socialist governments involved in fascism. That's cool, bro. But we're talking about fascism in America in the 21st century, like the shit that's happening right now. Like, you want to look around the world 150 years ago and point fingers. Hey, that is a fair debate and argument to have, but we talking about today, nigga. Like, are you denying that fascism is occurring in America right here, right now, in front of our faces? No, there is no denial of that. The other sentiment of some of the comments I received under this video about the Columbia University protests were, oh my God, look at these entitled little brats. And this is the generation we're going to pass the baton to. And I'm like, wow, like these conservatives, it's so funny that they popularized the term snowflake, and it's really kind of like a self-own, right? What Jared Ball quotes somebody else when he says this, but every critique is a confession. Right? So when the conservatives are calling so-called leftists, the snowflakes, look at how bratty they are, it's like, no, aren't y'all talking about yourselves, beloved? And it's just amazing to me, the lack of self-awareness, the blatant hypocrisy that the right wing is taking in its tone as it relates to these kids standing up against a literal genocide, right? Like, for anyone to attempt to deny that what's happening to the Palestinians right now is is in fact a genocide, is intentionally sticking their head in the sand and just blatantly not giving a fuck about these brown folks, right? And their plight, and how Israel is literally not only decimating them as people, but outright destroying Palestine as a culture, as a place, as a homeland for Palestinians. Anyone who tries to deny that is someone that whose opinion that you should automatically dismiss and disregard, because they have an aversion to accepting what is true and what is truly factual. But it's like, now, as someone who supported the actions on January the 6th, and for some people who may be tuning into the first time, or oh, y'all know me, my audience, y'all know I fucked with January 6th in all the most awesomest ways. Now, I didn't support the actions on January 6th for the reasons that the actual January 6th people were down there for. Like, we differ in ideology, make no question about it, but the act itself, the action itself of going down to the seat of power, into the nation's capital, making your demands known, but in fact, putting the fear into the state as opposed to the people being afraid of the state. The state, in turn, was afraid of those people, right? Now, don't get me wrong. I too am afraid of those people because I mean, just look at their heritage. I mean, look at their genetics, their makeup. They come from a very murderous line of folks, right? You know, genociders, people that stole land, colonizers. Like, yeah, I'm scared of them too. But the fact that I will never forget. Look, can we hold on? Can we take a moment for just go back to January 6th here for a moment? Because y'all know I love this shit, right? Y'all, the image of Mitt Romney, of rich bitch Mitt, of Mitt fucking Romney scurrying through the Capitol like a little rat, running away, trying to hide for his life, to know that Mike Pence was on the run. Mike Pence refusing to get in cars with people because he didn't know what was who. I said, oh my God, if grandma could have seen this. Like, I feel so privileged that I was alive on that day to see America's seat of power, political power, literally be brought to its knees by its own sons, right? Its own sons and daughters, the people that those halls of power are there to protect and whose interests they're there to protect. Those people came for America that day, baby. It wasn't Black Lives Matter. It wasn't the Black Lives Matter burning down the Target. No, it was the motherfucking MAGA motherfuckers down there to burn down the fucking Capitol. Like they was the British in the War of 1812, beloveds. Do you understand? The last time the U.S. Capitol had ever been attacked like that was in 1812 by the British. And in this most recent time, January 6th, it was their own niggas. Oh God, look at the glory of Jesus. Oh shit. The Lord said, the Lord said it will be your own niggas. Love it. So anyway, so it's wild that all this critique for these students, right, who haven't smeared any fecal matter on the walls, to my knowledge, who haven't sent any professors scurrying for their lives. NYPD was not afraid of these fucking kids chanting and singing, "We will not be moved," linking arms, right? So all of these fucking fake ass liberty, freedom of speech, all these bum ass conservatives who got up in their state legislatures talking about we got to protect students' right to free speech on campus because conservative students feel like they're being blah, blah, blah. Thank you so much for just openly admitting your hypocrisy and your double standards when it comes to these so-called liberties in this country. You are definitely fine that you, the conservatives, that is, y'all want to stand up and make sure that, you know, the people who want to be anti-trans and pro-choice, that they have a right to speak on campus, but that's never a two-way street with y'all motherfuckers. Okay, y'all only want the freedom of speech train to go one way. It don't go both ways. Only you all get to speak out against your government. Only you all get to punch police in the face. Only you all get to spray Bear Mace inside of the U.S. Capitol. Can't nobody else, not white, have any fucking grievances with the United States government except for white folks. Don't you see this? Don't you see this? You should, if you don't. And speaking of white folks, Eric Adams. King white folks in New York City. Oh my God. Lateef, get that video queued up. Let's take it from where they were about to show their video, the NYPD, when they were breaking their arms trying to pat themselves on the back for a job well done at Columbia University, terrorizing college students. But let's take it from where they were about to play their video. So this week, Eric Adams and his let's see who we got up there. We got Sausage, we got Uncured, pepperoni. We got applewood smoked bacon. Who else is up there? Pork chop. Who else is up there? Porky. Yeah. Had all that bacon. Oh, he bacon too. Shit, that big ass ham. Eric Adams is not even like a honey baked ham, nigga. You like what's some of that great value ham? I mean, that's no diss. I mean, you know what? Let me shut up. But y'all understand what I'm saying. In anyway, let me be quiet. So after the events that would happen at Columbia University, where Hamilton Hall, is that what it is? The place where most recently the students were able to gain access to the building and set up, they barricaded themselves in there, and NYPD used a Bearcat, a type of equipment, to breach the building, and they came in like gangbusters. And of course, the NYPD, because guys, what's our general lesson here that we know as for a fact that is even not in dispute, that police lie. They lie all the time. They lie about any and everything. Propaganda is in fact real. Police will make sure that there's only going to be one story told, and it's going to be theirs. And if you challenge that, well, then I guess you hate America. I don't I don't exactly follow the rationale of propaganda and propagandists. However, we know that Eric Adams himself, former NYPD, now the mayor of New York City, so he's all too happy just to boast and brag about how good a job NYPD did when trying to confront college students who were chanting and singing songs and linking arms, right? Ultimately. Hmm? So, hold on. Are we going to be able to do that? Hold on. Let me double check. Oh, brilliant. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Brother Latif. I appreciate that. So, let's go ahead and peep part of the press conference. So we actually played a snippet of this on the Remix Morning Show on Black Power Media this week, but it was very quick because it was the part that Eric Adams was saying that we not going to allow our children to be radicalized out here. Not on my watch. We're not going to let our kids be radicalized. All right. So let's take so it's Eric Adams, like I said, sausage, pork chop, applewood smoked bacon, and uncured pepperoni. So let's take a look.
Heck, folks, don't take over our buildings and put another flag up. That may be fine to other people, but it's not to me. My uncle died defending this country. And these men and women put their lives on the line. And it's despicable that schools will allow another country flag to fly in our country. So blame me for being proud to be an American. And I thank Commissioner Daughtry for putting that flag back up. We're not surrendering our way of life to anyone.
Could you? I wanted to just double back on the outside agitators. I know you said you've identified some people. Why is it so difficult for the NYPD to say X amount of people were outside agitators, especially since you've identified them? The mayor's been talking about them for more than a week. And secondly, blocking reporters from covering the events, then tweeting out your own videos, showing us this video. It's different than what we were seeing outside, especially the use of what seemed to be use of force from the police. Is that part of the NYPD's attempt to control the narrative, which I know some of the people in the dais have talked about before? But I guess first with the outside agitators, why is it so difficult to just say 10 people, 20 people, especially if, as you say, they were leading the occupation of the building?
Yeah, so I think it's not difficult to say that we know certain individuals. They're well known to us, who have been involved in what we assess to be training, especially around a change in tactics. We're in the process of sorting through all of the data that we recovered last night. So sifting through the names of everybody and were they affiliated with the school or not. That takes time, and we want to make sure that we're giving you accurate information. But I think the larger point is really important, which is this is not about students expressing ideas. It is about a change in tactics that presents a concern and a normalization and mainstreaming of rhetoric. And I'm not just talking about language, I'm now talking about tactics. And that's what shifted our response yesterday. But a normalization and mainstreaming of rhetoric associated with terrorism that has now become pretty common on college campuses, right? You see people wearing headbands associated with foreign terrorist organizations. This happened in October when you had a viral TikTok reissuing of Osama bin Laden's 2002 letter to America. So that's a larger concern. It's separate from what happened yesterday, but they're related. We do not want ideas. We do not want campuses, which are where people are supposed to be learning and being in a conducive environment for all of the things that we do in schools, being turned into places where people are committing vandalism, property damage, and committing crimes.
But if you know who the leaders are, you said yesterday at the press conference, it would be repeated on national television. Why not say three, four, five people? The mayor said last week that he questioned why all the attempts were the same when they aren't. It's this question of outside educators. It's been a prevalent message being shared by the NYPD and City Hall. So can you offer us any more?
Mm-mm. Did it stop?
Investigation. The intelligence division must be extremely sensitive about information they release. Our goal is not to ensure you get a good story. Our goal is to make sure that we tell the right story. There are people that we have been watching in organizations that are not part of the campus. We've been very clear. There are individuals and organizations that are not students. We're seeing a shift in tactics that are being used, destruction of property, destructions of cameras, and so many other things. We saw paraphernalia and pamphlets about disruptions. There's a series of things that the intelligence division has brought to make a determination that there's an influence going on right now. Now, we know that people would rather us put in a neat little bow, but that is not the way law enforcement operate. And we're not going to release any information that is too sensitive to release at this time. We know there are outside individuals that have been influencing of this issue.
And
Yeah,
Katie,
Commission.
the second part of your question when it comes to the press. So just take you back through yesterday. We released two messages to the press right before this operation was taking place. That if you're a member of the press and you wanted to get some access and get some shots, to come and meet a DCPI representative on 114th Street, and then we'll work it out with you from there. The reason why we have our own cameras inside of there is because we have police officers. They have tactical gear, they have helmets, they have vests, and we don't know what to expect when we go through these doors. So we cannot just take the press and go hitting doors with ESU. It doesn't work like that. When we were very transparent, and we also shared our video with members of the media this morning. It's available from DCPI now to continue sharing. All right.
And Commissioner, let me just add on to that. When we and Carlos, you can chime in if you want. But when we took action on NYU, when we received NYU's letter that they wanted to declare their encampment, when I tell you my own personal opinion is that the press kind of got in the way of our operation. There was hundreds of views getting in the way of officers as they were trying to make arrests. Okay, well, I'm saying it was more than 50, and we got video to prove that. So thank you, Commissioner Shepard, for getting the press together so we can know where the press is at, and that we don't confuse them with the students or protesters. Thank you.
Oh, thanks. So my question is twofold. I want to know about the individuals who are in training who made these makeshift weapons, who have the pamphlets and all of that. Is that one certain group? Would you call this a new breed of homegrown terrorists that we should be worried about here in New York City if you're tracking them across America? And then my second question is about that impressive tactic of going into the building on that Bearcat that was dramatic and impressive to see. Was there something about the timing of when you did that? Can you paint a picture of what was going inside, what you could see on the drones? With those makeshift weapons, was violence imminent? And did you think at that point you have to go in?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's really important to very, in a nuanced way, describe what we're seeing. And I wouldn't describe it as a new breed of homegrown terrorism. There is, though, a concern around radicalization, as the mayor and the police commissioner have conveyed, I think, very effectively. This is a time when, if you have, and to your point about being more specific, last week there was the wife of somebody who had been convicted for material support to terrorism on campus, and we have no evidence of any criminal wrongdoing on her part. But that's not somebody who I would want necessarily influencing my child if I were a parent of somebody at Columbia, or the individuals who are involved in doing some of this training and tactical awareness activity. These students don't come in the doors knowing how to barricade themselves behind barriers that they've created, right? These are all skills that are taught and learned, and that presents a problem. And so, this is not about policing ideas in any way, shape, or form. It is about recognizing when there is an actual public safety concern. And we mentioned this yesterday, but it's worth reiterating to the protesters themselves. If you're barricaded in a building and an emergency happens, there's a risk to you. So it's specific, and we have to be calibrated, but we also have to be open and honest about what we're seeing. And we're seeing
Okie dokie. That's good. That's good. Latif, thank you. Thank you so much. And I know that was an extended clip, but I think it was important to listen to the full context of not only was being said by Eric Adams, but his top representatives of the NYPD, and most notably there, Rebecca Weiner. We talked about her on the Remix Morning Show, who has a lot of very interesting connections herself, but she said a lot right there. Didn't she, everybody? And let me just point out one of the big flaws and just an outright falsehood in the last one of the last things she said when she talked about the students have undergone a change of tactics and the radicalization of these children's ideas. And my apologies, and I'm not trying to minimize or demean when I say children. That's not. I know y'all is big ass adults out here, okay? But I could be your mama, so that's why I call you children, because you are much younger than I. But it's not to demean you in any way. But for these young folks, she talked about, and they don't come to college with these skills of how to barricade themselves in rooms and how to prevent police from gaining access to a room via barricade. And I'm like, you dumb cunt. She white, so let me try to offend her. You stupid fucking cunt. Do you not understand what kids you are talking about? We're in the year 2024. I would imagine these college students, these students at Columbia University graduated high school between 2017 and 20 or 2023. These children, their entire public school lives have been drilling for mass school shootings since they were pre-K. The fuck you mean they don't know how to barricade themselves in a room? If anybody knows how to do it, they know it better than any other generation before them. Okay. And this is that bullshit. These are the kinds of idiotic, intentionally ignorant, intentionally inflammatory things meant to honestly slander an entire generation, right? For them taking a stand, these kids taking a stand, but even for the tactics that they use, that they were probably trained and taught by police. These kids have been doing mass shooter drills, school shooter drills since they was 5 fucking years old. Now they're 25, and you're talking about we don't know where they got the skills. we don't know how they acquired the skills to barricade themselves in a room. How the fuck did they do that? Who taught them that? It must have been them radicals. They must have learned it radical. Yeah, the kids had to fucking radicalize themselves because they live in violent ass America. They live in a place where their schools are targets and places for gun violence, where churches are targets and places for gun violence, where supermarkets are targets and places for gun violence. And these motherfuckers is like, who radicalized the kids? Jesus. Oh, I hate it here so fucking bad. Hate. Can't stand ya. Can't stand ya. So, Eric Adams said the kids is not going to be radicalized on his watch, and he can't understand how any school could allow people in this country to raise the flag of another country. You guys know I found it. I'm not going to show it, but just know that it exists. You know I found the clip of Eric Adams' dumbass raising the Ukrainian flag, right? As mayor. As mayor. Oh, that's different because why? Ukrainians is white? Is that the difference? You fucking coon ass cracker? You fucking motherfucking piggy ass pig. Is that why you raised Ukraine's flag over the streets in New York City? Because it was white folks, but because the young folks is out here trying to stop a genocide and they want to raise a flag for Palestine, that's a bridge too far, huh? You can't stand in support of people being genocided, can you, Eric Adams? I'm sorry, non-white people being bombed, having their hospitals bombed. No, that's a bridge too far, huh? Eric Adams. That's why Yemi got in your shit, dog. that's why Olay hurt your feelings so bad, and this nigga had to turn away from Olay. Couldn't even face her. He couldn't even face her. Oh, I hated to see it. At the same time, I love to see it though. I said, look at these motherfuckers, all their tells coming out through their body language. Look at how much animus you had for this black woman. I'm sorry, I know I'm going on a bit of a tangent. So, but it's interesting again. The kids, the pro-Palestinian protesters are apparently, supposedly exhibiting all the ideals and truly idealism that America claims to represent, right? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression, with their pamphlets and their brochures and their political education, freedom to disseminate information, freedom of press, yes, like freedom of assembly. Like the kids are doing all of the things. And of course, the media helps to feed the narrative, oh, the protests turned violent. But you motherfuckers never notice and never observe, or at least never report accurately, that whenever the protests, quote, turn violent, is usually when the cops show up, right? Like the protest was minding its motherfucking business, chanting its motherfucking chants, doing everything that the protesters were doing, right? Minding their business, having their encampment, doing all of the programming that they were opting to do in support of Palestine and in furtherance of their demands to get their universities to divest financially from Israel. But the only time the protests ever, quote, turn violent is when the police show up. Because that is who always brings the violence. And it's incredible the ways in which, I've seen a number of people on TikTok and other folks, obviously our comrades included, sort of help bring this more into focus for me, right? All of this talk about the TikTok ban because China has too much influence over our country in how information is shared. And Russia, Russia ran the Facebook okey doke on all them dumb niggas, right? That's how Trump got elected in 2016, because the black people was too stupid to not understand the Russia campaign on Facebook, right? But it's like, where is any of the talk about election interference from Israel, right? And I appreciate the way that the influence of AIPAC, the powerful pro-Israeli political lobby, the amount of influence that they have on elected officials, Republican and Democrat, including the sitting president, right? And it's like, thank you for the wake up that I think at least portions of this country is receiving. There was no other country that has had more of an influence on our elections than Israel. Okay. And it shouldn't shock you, because what other country in the world receives as much foreign aid from the US than Israel, right? It's money well spent. I would say, from APAC, right? It seems to absolutely yield dividends. You know what I mean? They absolutely getting something back for that investment. And I think y'all, the shit I was seeing on TikTok today, I was very surprised, and I was like, oh, this is part of the reason why TikTok is getting banned, right? Because it was white kids. And I do mean kids in this respect. I saw a couple videos, at least 3 to 5, from young white boys. I would put them between the ages of 18 to 25. And these were not the crunchy granola. these is not the code pink, white boys. These was white boys, white American boys, right? And the one white boy was saying how the mainstream can't scare what he meant was mainstream white America. He was like, you can't scare us anymore by telling us that Muslims are scary. Muslims are some of the nicest people that we know. There's white boys in the middle of the heartland of America rooting for Muslim MMA fighters every single day. And you know who are the biggest assholes? Zionists. Like, this is white kid saying this. Like, and again, he's not striking me as some radical leftist. He ain't giving me Chuck Modiano vibes. he's not giving me Richie Sergenko vibes. I mean, he's giving me white boy Roy vibes. And I saw like 5 videos from 3 to 5 white boy Roy straight up. And they was talking that shit. They was talking about how Israel is influencing our political leaders, how Israel, how come we don't have health care? Here's why: because we're giving Israel $35 billion. Da, da, da. I said, oh, that's why they banned TikTok. I said, oh. The young whites is starting to have their third eye flutter out here, and starting in some ways to look even beyond their own. I mean, obviously, a lot of this rhetoric is deeply self-interested, and to a certain extent it should be, but at least in some of their analysis, they were considering the wider the wider breadth of people that live in this country. Why don't we as a people have these things? Oh, it's because we're propping up Israel. So I wanted to send and say again, first of all, free Palestine, freedom to the Palestinian people, not only an end to the war, but a replacement, a repatriation of the Palestinian people to all of their lands. If the U.S. wants to spend billions of dollars, it can certainly send billions of dollars to Palestine to help people rebuild their homes, to rebuild Gaza. And when I think about these folks not being able to go home like that, in addition to the genocide, like I'm trying to look past the genocide and want it to be over soon, and think about how these people can hurry up and get home. But the genocide continues, so the genocide needs to stop. The Biden administration needs to demand it and call for it immediately. And if he doesn't, well, I guess Joe Biden and Benjamin Netanyahu gonna lose elections, and they deserve to. But regardless, but in addition to sending love and solidarity to the Palestinian people, to these students, not only across the United States, but literally across the globe, big up to Berlin. We saw the people, them turning up in Berlin big time today. But in the US, to all the kids that's out there standing strong, and to see these protests continue to mushroom and grow, I am so encouraged by that. And to the leaders that are trying to suppress and repress them, these are the youths, okay? And these kids are not going to forget this treatment. They are not going to forget why they got bust upside the head, why they got in trouble at their school, because they had the audacity to speak out against a genocide, okay? And these kids are not going to forget this. They are not going to forget this. So before you take away their TikTok, before you ban they favorite shit, and before you kick them out of school, and before, just think about the seeds of dissent and dare I say rebellion that you are going to be fomenting and fertilizing if you keep up this state of repression and force against these children. All right, y'all, let me take a break. What's popping? Oh, so I'm sorry. I keep forgetting to tell people to like and subscribe, and I keep forgetting to sit up straight and all kinds of things. So, shout out to anyone that's checking us out for the first time on the vertical stream on YouTube Shorts. Thank you so much. This is Burn It Down with Kim Brown. We air here live. This is a live motherfucking show. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no shots, no shots to the pre-producers. That takes a lot of work, but baby, this is what you call this is what you call skill. Ooh, this is what you call God-given. This is what you call off the top of the dome. This is what you call no script. This is what you call no notes, baby. This is what you call extemporaneous thinking. Not everybody can do this, baby, and I make it look easy, but trust me, it ain't. Oh, and you don't believe me, let other motherfuckers do it, and then let them show you. Okay, let me tell you, let them show you. So anyway, talking shit. I'm a Leo, y'all. Does anyone care that I'm a Leo? You know who cares that I'm a Leo? I care. that is a hallmark of being a Leo. No, nobody else gotta fucking care. I care. That's it. So anyway, welcome to the program. We air here every Tuesdays and Fridays, 7 p.m. Eastern time. You can also catch me as one of the dazzling co-host of the Remix Morning Show that airs on Black Power Media. Please subscribe to Black Power Media on YouTube. Oh, so anyway, I didn't get y'all a pulse about what's going on over there. But I think everything got said what needed to be said on Thursday. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should actually get caught up. you should get caught up because we're kind of in the middle of a something, right? So go to Black Power Media Wednesday night. Go look for the under the live tab. You'll see it. It says rumor that Kalanji might be leaving Black Power Media. You should watch that. Watch that, and then follow that up with the Thursday edition, the Thursday morning installment of the Remix Morning Show, and then watch that. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not fully apprised of the situation, and I know y'all like Kim, what situation? I don't know. Let me look. Let me see. Y'all might be all in it. uh like I said, I went back and watched that Thursday morning Remix Morning Show chat. Jesus. It was, I mean, fuck Russell Simmons, but that shit was Def Comedy Jam in its hey. That shit was Def Comedy Jam hosted by Martin Lawrence. Def Comedy Jam. Not even, the shout out to Said. I did like Said hosted Def Comedy Jam, but the shit was on a different level of hilarity when Martin Lawrence was hosting Def Comedy Jam, and that was the level of hilarity that the chat was was deploying in the Remix Morning Show chat. I said, oh my God. I said, I am absolutely around my people because y'all ain't shit. As I too also ain't shit. I said, look at me with all my ain't shit friends in here. We all just ain't being shit together. We just all in here ain't being shit together. That's it. So yeah. So there's that. So thank you guys for the support. And again, like I said, we're going to be workshopping a new name for the platform here in the coming weeks. There might even be an event in June in DC. I didn't say that. But don't tell nobody. I told y'all. I ain't dropped a date yet because but there is a date. So yeah. So anyway, but big up. But of course you guys already know the live Earn Your Liberation event will be coming up here in Baltimore in the coming weeks, May 19th. So Please send some love to the EYL Brubs if you're going to be in the Maryland area, in the Baltimore region. Go do that. Now I have slightly drawn a blank on what my next story was going to be. Oh, I just remembered. Never mind. Wait, you guys, big up, show some love. Wait, first of all, big up to Tyler, big up to Courtney. Thank you guys. Somebody even said Chuck Diesel came in here a couple weeks ago. What's up, Chuck Diesel? If you hanging around, shout out to Latif, y'all. Latif is doing double duties. He is I don't know where he is. He's in the world pushing the buttons. I sent him the login and he said he could push the buttons for me as Will has a well-deserved night off. So thank you so much to Latif for pushing buttons. And are you modding too? If you're not modding, that is understandable. Fret not. You do not have to mod as well. But so yeah. That's what I was gonna ask. So Latif, did you find that Joy Reid video? Big up. What's going on to YouTube Academic? Now, YouTube Academic, I ain't never had no problem with you, but I seen Jared kind of barking at you. I saw you and JB getting a little chippy. It was a little chippy in the EYO chat with JB and YouTube Academic. And it's like, don't be like that, man. But no, I gotta say YouTube Academic. I don't even know how you was being, but don't be like that, man. What's going on? Who is this? Is Vesper X in the building? What's going on? Did I already say what's up to Holly? Helpful harm. Who is okay? Thank you guys. D5J. Appreciate it. Come on in here. Give the video a thumbs up, everybody. Here we are. Burn It Down with Kim Brown on YouTube. Talk about politics. We talk about pop. Well, we usually black pop culture. I usually leave white folks alone. I mean, I did think it was crazy that Harvey Weinstein had one of his rape convictions overturned, though from a legal perspective it made sense. But under the jail it is absolutely where he belongs. But if you got money and it, you take it out your pocket and you show it and you throw it like appeal lawyer, appeal courts, file my appeal. That's what you do when you got money. That's how you really take your money out your pocket and show it and throw it. Learn life, Abby. Blue BB. That's how you do that. Thank you so much. Yes, caretaker and helping out. Big up to Latif. Latif is stands alone out here. He stands alone. Dawn Bird. Thank you so much, Donnie. Afraid Not. Appreciate you coming through. C C C E C V CEIEA. You sent a super chat and I didn't acknowledge you. Let me acknowledge you now. Thank you so much. Beloved, put your pronunciation phonetically, like I'm hooked on phonics. Like tell me the best way to pronounce your name. I don't like mispronouncing people's names. I would like to know how to properly address you. Ooh, someone sent money. Big up to the Snows. They knows how to goes. Appreciate my folks coming out, showing up. Real quick, y'all, like to shout out my mama. Shout out to moms. Mom's doing great. Let me also shout out to my dog. Her name is Bagheera. My actual dog. Bagheera's out here doing fantastic, guys. Bagheera is going to be 15 and a half in 2 weeks. On the 15th, she will be 15 and a half. It is a pretty cray, pretty cray. And I'm so grateful that you guys think about bags and ask about her. Thank you so much for the super chat support. Lord have mercy. Does it say Kango? Wait, does that say Liu Kang? That can't be right. No, it doesn't say Liu Kang. Am I projecting? Do I miss Liu Kang? I think I do. I see Liu Kang in the BPM chat. Thank you, babe. I appreciate that. Big up to you, Kim, for always keeping it raw. Can I tell you how much I appreciate? Thank you so much for that, babe. Let me tell you how much I appreciate you saying raw instead of real. Because rawness, I think, is what is needed right now. I think there's too much decorum. And I know that sounds crazy because it's like, well, if you don't have decorum, if you lose civility, everything descends into chaos and it's anarchy and da 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 da. But I think gentility and professionalism, like all this shit is ways to kind of stifle the righteous rage that people feel because of their condition, right? There's only a proper way to protest. There's only a proper way to express dissent, right? Or to express opposition. You have to do it in this proper way, says the state, says the protocols, says the rules, says our hundreds of years or whatever of norms and da da da. But who has remained on top as a result of literally regulating and litigating the ways in which people speak and express and demonstrate, right? That only all that gentility, all that decorum shit, that only serves the powerful. That doesn't help the oppressed get any further. I mean, how many times have we seen people who have been murdered by the state do so with their hands up or do so in a in literally their own legal car that they owned with their license and their proper registration and insurance? Like, we've seen people 100% be on the correct side of the law and comply and still die. So be nice about the shit for what? Say it nice for what? They gonna be nicer to me? They gonna turn the dial down on my oppression and my marginalization if I'm only nicer about the shit? If only I could be nicer about the misogynoir experience, huh? What? About the racism I experienced? What? I'm supposed to be nicer about it? That's it? Oh, so if I'm nice about it, it'll stop? If I just accept my misogynoir and my oppression with a smile, will the oppression cease? No. Or they'd be like, oh, look at her. She loves it. Who said that, y'all? Was that Audre Lorde or was that Zora Neale Hurston? For my scholars, for my Black womanist and feminist scholars, who said, I'm paraphrasing, if you are silent or quiet about your oppression, they will kill you and then say that you loved it. I want to attribute that to, and I am misquoting that badly, but let me attribute that to, was it Zora Neale Hurston? See, I'm sorry. What's up, Yipper99? I'm sorry, y'all. I know I can't ask my chat the same kind of level of questions I can ask the BPM chat. And that's no diss, by the way. That's not a diss. That's not a diss to the Fire Fam or to the BIDWKB chat. That's no diss at all. Y'all are my viewers, you dig? Like the BPM viewers, the remixers, oh, they've done all the reading, baby. All of the reading. they have done all of the reading. My viewers, we looked at that shit, yeah. Did we read it cover to cover? Nah, we checked out a couple chapters of the shit though. Shit was good. You know what I'm saying? Right on. You know what I'm saying? Shit was all right. You know what I'm saying? Did I finish it yet? No. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. But that was Zora Neale Hurston, right? Right. Anyway, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to minimize us versus anybody out here. You know what I'm saying? We know what we know, god damn it. We know what we know. Pamela Jones, thank you so much for coming through. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate that. Hey, brother Latif, did we have that Joy Reid video? Did you already tell me in the affirmative or the negative? And perhaps I missed it because I was running my yam. Running my yam. We gonna have a good spring, everybody. Mercury's out of retrograde. Shit should start to clear up. It's gonna be smooth sailing from here on out. You know what I'm saying? All the messages are gonna get through real clear now, real clear. We're gonna have a very clarity-filled summer. A clarity-filled summer.
As one of the few black.
Hey, wait, hold it. You ain't tell me. Hold on. Now pump your brakes there. Pump your brakes there. Substitute Will. You coming in hot, just like real Will. So let me set this up for you kids. Do me a favor, everybody. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, chat, comment. This is Burning Down with Kim Brown, the greatest amongst the greats on YouTube. So we've been covering the story of embattled former Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby. We even talked about her a little bit on the Remix Morning Show. I think I talked about Marilyn Mosby earlier this week because Marilyn Mosby's on a campaign, beloved. She's on a world tour with Muhammad, my man, going each and every place with a mic in her hand. She is trying desperately to secure a pardon from the Biden administration. As you know, Marilyn Mosby was convicted on 3 federal counts earlier this year, including 1 count of perjury. She is slated to be sentenced here in the coming weeks, and Marilyn Mosby does not want to go to jail. Okay, so she and the bougies have rallied to Marilyn Mosby's side. They are doing what they can to spread the word, and I suppose in some way try to put some pressure on Joe Biden to perhaps issue her a pardon before she is slated to be sentenced to federal jail because, well, you know, we're not criminals per se, but we know how the judicial system works, and whatever federal sentence you receive, you have to do. Is it 80 or 85%? Jailbirds, which one? I'm sorry, knowers of the law. It may be. I think it's 85%, right? Or it's up there. You have to do the overwhelming majority of your fed time before they let you out for any sort of parole or probation, etc. So if Marilyn Mosby, I don't fucking know. I think she's looking at 40 years. There's no way she's going to get anywhere close to 40 years. She might get a 2-year sentence, maybe 18 months, somewhere in there. So if whatever she gets, she's going to have to do. Okay. And she don't want to do that. she don't want to do that. She don't want to do that. And so did the majority of the people that, were prosecuted by her office for a little bullshit, usually as a result of some piss poor, if not outright illegal policing from BPD. So, as I've said before, and I'll say it again, I don't want to see Black people go to jail. But in this lady's case, very specifically, I like the empathy. So the part of the news about Marilyn Mosby this week, again, she's campaigning hard. She and her supporters campaigning hard for a presidential pardon. But it was also reported that federal prosecutors are seeking to seize her assets, including the condominium in Florida that she bought that started this whole, albeit bullshit investigation about her filling out mortgage forms and moving her retirement money around in ways that she wasn't supposed to and lying about it on a form, et cetera, et cetera. So the feds say that they want to seize this Florida condo as because it was part of a fraudulent transaction that she was eventually convicted of. So they want to seize this condo and sell it. And she will get back the $47,000 and some change that was part of her down payment. So they not done with Marilyn. They still coming after Marilyn Mosby. And it's like, wow, honey, you just could have, if you just could have waited and a couple more years before you and your husband wanted to earn your leisure. But no. I want money and I want it now. I mean, her and her husband, a whole JG Wentworth fucking commercial. You know what I'm saying? I want money. I want it now. Call JG Wentworth. Jesus. Anyway, now y'all in trouble. So anyway, so part of this campaign, here's Marilyn Mosby making an appearance on MSNBC with Joy Reid. And I have yet to see this, so we are going to watch this together as a family. And Lateef, you can put the video up full screen, but leave my mic on because I reserve the right to laugh aloud, cackling over things that I may find funny. So guys, let's watch this together. Here's former Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby on the Joy and Reid show. I imagine making the case why she deserves a presidential pardon from Joe Biden. Let's take a look.
A number of political risks during her 8-year tenure. She moved to decriminalize sex work and marijuana. She established programs to provide nonviolent drug offenders with alternatives to incarceration, and even started one of the country's only youth and prevention departments. But it wasn't until after her push to prosecute the officers who killed Freddie Gray that she found herself on the other side of the courtroom, convicted of fraud for withdrawing funds from her own Baltimore deferred compensation retirement account, something 739 other city employees, including 3 people who worked in the same agency as Attorney Mosby, did during the pandemic. Yet she was the only one prosecuted and now faces up to 40 years in prison. Marilyn Mosby joins me now. I guess the first most obvious question is, how are you doing? This must have hit you like a Mack truck.
I mean, first and foremost, I'm blessed. And so thank you for having me on. Yeah, it's still an incredibly sobering moment, right? I've done absolutely nothing wrong, nothing illegal, nothing criminal.
This was your money. Was there any public money involved in this transaction?
No, absolutely not. This was not, despite how I've been vilified, when the gag order was in place and I was unable to defend myself. It's just not PPP loans. This is not a COVID relief funding. This was the money that I was putting away every 2 weeks in a retirement savings account. And I was advised I could withdraw from this fund. There was, the person that testified, the government witness, got on the stand and said all I needed to do was suffer a $50 adversity.
Right.
And I had more than a $50 adversity as a result of COVID. So I didn't even take the stand once that came out, right? And it's like, obviously, I'm not going to be convicted. I know that this was politically targeted, and it was sobering.
Talk about this, because you do say that you've been targeted, and why do you think that happened? Because the thing that changed between you indicting those officers in the Freddie Gray case and this is the president changed, the Justice Department changed, and Leo Wise got a lot more power. Talk about that a little bit.
So, I mean, I think that you've kind of touched upon all of it, right? Like when you look at the policies that were being implemented, not only did President Trump say, I need to prosecute myself, but 2 months after, Larry Krasner from Philadelphia and I called him out in the Washington Post, they started this investigation.
And who is Larry Krasner?
Larry Krasner is a Philadelphia district attorney.
Right. And so there is a sense, I think a lot of people would be shocked that, the Murdoch, the guy who allegedly killed his son, is facing 40 years. They're trying to sentence you to 40 years. The sentencing is on the 23rd of May.
It is.
What do you want to see happen? I know there's a petition asking President Biden to pardon you. Is that what you want?
I mean, I think that that's appropriate. I mean, I think I don't believe that. I know that I've done absolutely nothing wrong, nothing criminal. And to be separated from my children for 40 years as a result of withdrawing $90,000 of my own money, it just makes absolutely no sense. It's illogical. And so, I want the people that I fought for. I fought so hard, first generation college student. They're trying to take my law license, as in an emergency petition, an unprecedented move. I want this justice system that I fought so hard hard to equalize and to balance the scales of justice, where the business model is based off the backs of Black and brown people, for the people that I fought for to understand and recognize that I need them to fight for me, not because it's Marilyn Mosby, but because something like this goes beyond Marilyn Mosby. If they can do this to Marilyn Mosby, who had the audacity to challenge the status quo, they can do this to anybody. They can do this more specifically to those prosecutors that have the courage and the gall to challenge the status quo in the way that I did.
And the reason I
Wow.
think it stands out is that you did have, the governor of Florida, Ron DeSantis, dismiss two prosecutors he claimed were
Yes.
George Soros progressives. There is this sort of, Bill Barr railed against you by name and others, saying that what you all were doing, disrupting the system in favor of the incarcerated, was destroying the system, and you all needed to pay for it. Do you feel that that you are part of that?
I mean, he made it very clear in February 2020 when he addressed the sheriffs of America that these rogue social justice prosecutors, we will do anything by any means necessary, whether jurisdictionally or any individual politician that comes in the rule of and goes between the rule of law. And so that's exactly what they have done, right? They've targeted me. And as I stated before, this is a 4-year-long investigation where they've combed every aspect of my life. We're unannounced, going to people's homes, my neighbors at 5 o'clock, the FBI knocking on their door, intimidating folks. They issued subpoenas to all of the Black churches in 5 months before my reelection, not only to get me out of office, but they've done this to demonize me and to vilify me and to break me psychologically, break me professionally, break me spiritually, break me financially. I've lost everything.
And meanwhile, one of the officers that was involved in Freddie Gray's death is now going to oversee the Baltimore Police Integrity Unit. I mean, that does seem to be a message. You have 2 young children. They are preteens, so 13, 15. How are they holding up under all this?
I mean, this is.
And you're a single mom.
I'm now a single mom. I filed for divorce of a 25-year relationship as a result of the chasms that were drawn between this. But they're not 3 and 5 years old no more. I can't shield them from the negativity. Children have come up to them and asked them and said, that's why your mom's going to jail, right? They've been traumatized through all of this. But the most sobering thing, and I got to just say, I'm so grateful about all of it, is that God has still covered them. Yeah. Right? They're still prospering despite the trauma that's been imposed upon them. More recently, my daughter had a cotillion and unannounced, right? She said she wanted to go to law school and become a prosecutor. She didn't even tell me. I was like, wow, right? So I feel like I'm doing something good. At the end of the day, I'm a positive example where before, I didn't want them to come into the courtroom for the first trial, but the second one, I really wanted them to see what it looks like to face adversity and to have faith and to have strength in the face of adversity.
Would you advise prosecutors to go as hard as you did? I mean, vacating nearly 800, criminal cases. Mm-hmm. Would you advise people to take those progressive steps? And what would you say about the risks to doing that?
I mean, justice is always worth the price paid for its pursuit. I would not do anything differently. And I know that God does not forsake the righteous. And so, I know he will have the final say, and I'm confident. I'm confident that this administration will see past the political sort of attacks and why I've been convicted.
Marilyn Mosby, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here.
Interesting about that 800 conviction vacated figure. So to be clear, while Marilyn Mosby was state's attorney, Baltimore police were under a federal consent decree. Baltimore police were found to be routinely, daily, hourly violating the civil and constitutional
Welcome
rights.
to this special edition.
Turn that shit off, please. Thank you. Thanks, Lateef. You're doing a great job. Doing a great job. So Baltimore police were under consent decree, right? Marilyn Mosby's office was under pressure to not bring to trial or pursue cases that were done by I can't even say rogue officers because the cops were so trained up in the ways of violating people's rights that's not going rogue. That's exactly what they were trained to do. But a lot of these cases themselves were illegally gotten, right? Or some bullshit arrests, or even worse, fabricated or planted evidence. Yeah, you did have to vacate a bunch of convictions because the Baltimore police were out here corruptly fucking people up and getting them hemmed up into the system behind oftentimes either shit that they outright didn't do, or cases that were sloppily handled by Baltimore police, right? In fact, Marilyn Mosby's office had to come up with a list, a do not call list of hundreds of Baltimore police officers who were such willful and blatant liars on the stand under oath, right? That it compromised the state's credibility to be able to call them as witnesses, right? So miss me with the I vacated 800 or so convictions because I'm so awesome and progressive. No, your system that you were a happy participant of was just so corrupt. Like hundreds of cases could not stand the scrutiny of being legally obtained, right? Or being legally prosecuted. So don't try to sell us what I was so great, I was so altruistic and so forward thinking that this is why I did this. Absolutely not, guys. Here's the thing. They keep trying to draw a straight line from Marilyn Mosby prosecuting or bringing charges against the 5 cops that murdered Freddie Gray. They keep trying, and that her supporters, and I guess the liberal mainstream media, in this case, Joanne Reed, but not just her, lots of others. Because again, Marilyn Mosby is in that ecosphere, right? She is in that black bougie, Junior Baraka Michelle, sent her daughter to the cotillion, you know what I mean? Like she's one of them, right? Make no mistake about that. So I forgot what I was about to say. Oh my goodness. No, what I was about to say was uh it's just amazing to me that somehow her prosecuting or bringing charges against Freddie Gray's killers was somehow viewed as her taking a stand for the people and against the system. But when you peel back the layers of the ways in which her office handled and mishandled um the way that her investigators from her office who were coming behind police a lot of times were failing to ask certain questions, we're trying to paint the narrative in a certain way, we're refusing to give credence to people who were eye and ear witnesses to what the Baltimore police did to Freddie Gray out there in West Baltimore back in 2015, right? Like her office did not do a great job of trying to secure convictions. Were they stymied in some way? I would implore you to check out Justine Barron's book, They Killed Freddie Gray. She goes into extensive details, not only how the police failed and fucked up and what they did to help bring about Freddie Gray's unfortunate demise, but the ways in which Marilyn Mosby's office, in which some feel was intentional, botched these trials and botched the convictions. She didn't really want to convict these cops, but she had to do something to show face, right? That's why she brought the charges. But the intentionality behind the sloppiness of her office, that wasn't because she was incompetent or she just the system wouldn't allow her to get a conviction. No, the fix was in, beloveds. Okay, Marilyn Mosby's office and the cops was all in together now. Okay, make it more better now. They was in it from the jump. Everybody got to save face, right? And she's gonna ride that to the end, right? She's not gonna admit that the failure to even get one conviction of any of the cops that killed Freddie Gray, that it wasn't an accident. That's how it was supposed to work. And again, if the lady goes to jail, via con Dios, beloved, I wish her well, keep your head up. You know what I'm saying? Keep your head on a swivel. But here's the reason I actually, after watching this interview with Joy and Reed, I actually think that she's not going to get a pardon. Because she's not contrite. She's not remorseful. She's not taking any accountability. She's saying, I didn't do nothing wrong. 2 federal juries were clearly mistaken about the evidence that they were presented, and 2 juries obviously got my conviction wrong, right? And I don't think that's how you get a pardon. I think you're supposed to say, I learned my lesson. I think on some level you're supposed to say, I'm not going to do that again. You know what I mean? I don't think you double and triple down on the fact that, that you're innocent. And I get her asserting her innocence, but you're asserting your innocence after 2 trials have already been adjudicated and you have been found guilty on 3 federal counts. Like, it's time to face facts. You can deny. And I just think about all the people, innocent and otherwise, who came before her office and were not given the same sort of absolution or grace or consideration that she's asking of the rest of us. And did you hear her? She almost told on herself, Marilyn Mosey. Did you hear her say, and if they can do this to me, she almost said they can do this to any one of y'all, right? But instead she said they could do this to any prosecutor. I'm like, bitch, I don't care about no fucking prosecutors. Like, I'm sorry. Why do you think prosecutors are like a sympathetic group for any fucking body, right? Like, whose heartstrings are you trying to appeal to by telling us if they can do this to you, they can do this to any prosecutor? Niggas, we don't care. Prosecutors put people in jail, baby. Maybe they should experience a little bit of the job that they do, right? They should get a taste of it themselves, okay? But the point is, but she's right. If they can do it to her, they can do it to anybody. If they can railroad her off some pity pat shit, they can railroad anybody off some pity pat shit. And do you know how Marilyn Mosby knows this firsthand and directly? Based off of her own experience, yes. In the ways that she is experiencing it now, and the ways that she has done it to other people time and time again as her role as prosecutor. Yes, she absolutely knows that you can ruin someone's life, you can railroad them, you can destroy any future opportunities they may have at housing, at education, at a normal life in any way by doing some pity pat shit. She absolutely knows how people's lives can be ruined just that quick because she's done it herself. Probably so many times she doesn't even know. And again, this is why I lack empathy. So, look at that. Holy shit, we almost talked for this long. Substitute Will, you did a great job. You guys, I need you guys to give some love to Lateef out here, y'all. Please show Lateef some love in the chat. I want to see the flame emojis. I want to see the black fist in the air. I want to see all of it. Lateef did an outstanding job. Thank you so much, Lateef. Celestin, thank you so much. C.A. Celestin. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Yep. So will be back on Tuesday. And we're going to try to get Will's computer Monday, even though it probably won't be delivered to him till Thursday. So just wanted to put that out one more time. We are fundraising for, this is a kind of an emergency fundraiser. Will's computer died and Will needs a computer in order to produce and execute and do the things that need to be done for the show. So I had to up the goal a little bit from 700 to 800, but I don't care. Like, again, if we raise $700, I think we'll survive. I think we'll make it. I think we'll be okay. But whatever, if we get to 800, even better. But this is just a temporary quick fundraiser once we meet our goal. Fundraiser done. But anything that you're able to do, even if it comes in the form of super chats, we appreciate. If you want to hit us up on our cash platforms, BIDWKB, that's us on Cash App, that's us on Instagram, paypal.me/BIDWKB. anything, guys. And thank you so much to everyone that have already sent material support. Thank you to everyone that is already a patron to Burn It Down with Kim Brown. You guys are the shit, and thank you for your patronage. I know Patreon hit y'all on today, so consider your ties paid. We appreciate you so much, Sith Lord Prince, Chichi Matcha. Thank y'all for making some time to come on through. And yeah, thank you, silly. Yes, yes. Show love to brother Latif. Thank you so much, Holly. Latif did an outstanding job tonight. I certainly appreciate the the assist on the button pushing. So Latif, be safe wherever you are. I appreciate you giving us the Fire Fam assist coming out of the chat to push some actual physical buttons. Thank you. So guys, don't forget to tune in tomorrow to Black Power Media to check out Saturdays with Renee. Big up to Renee Johnston, a Fire Fam member in her own right, doing an outstanding job, doing God's work. Renee, we see you. Also tune into the Ear Doctor on Sundays for Sundays on Black Power Media. Set your bells and whistles and alarms and all that shit. We are very interested. Well, yes, we are very interested in getting the remixers input on at least name wise for the future direction of the channel currently known as Black Power Media, but will futurely be known as something else. So if you want to stay apprised of what's going on BPM, consider being a patron over there as well. Patreon.com/Black Power Media. I believe everyone was receptive to the idea of a Patreon poll as to, what the next name of the channel is going to be. You know, Pluto just went into retrograde, everybody. Okay, before everybody tunes me out, hear me out. Pluto going into retrograde is a whole new reshifting, remolding, reformation, rebirth, reemergence. Some shit that you used to do, maybe you was good at before and you kind of stepped away from it. Maybe that shit's gonna come back into your life somehow. And you're like, you know what, maybe I should pay more attention to this and see how this goes. So anyway, I'm no astrologer. I just play one on the internet. So regardless, everybody, thank you all so much for watching us tonight. Thank you so much to all for your support. Don't forget to like the video on your way out, subscribe to the channel. Oh yeah, guys, let me say this real quick. We are less than 30 subscribers away from 5,000. We're almost at 5,000, guys. We're almost legit at 5,000. We ain't buy a view. We ain't bought a subscriber. That's organic. That's from the earth. You feel me? We got 5K the hard way. You understand? So for our patrons and for our channel members, next week we will be having a Zoom party. Got to take this shit off YouTube because YouTube be acting like a whole hoe. And I want to play some music at my Zoom party for our 5K celebration. So be watching the community section, be watching your Patreon announcements because there will be a BID WKB 5K Zoom party happening next week. I think we're going to do it Thursday, but we might hit 5K over the weekend. But then we got some haters too. So some niggas might unsubscribe for jokes. And and I don't find that shit funny. So don't be doing that fucking corny cornball ass shit. Please and thank you. So anyway, I want to thank everyone that's been with us pretty much the whole time. A lot of y'all have literally been here the whole time. And for the new folks or the more recent folks coming in, we thank you guys for finding, supporting, and being consistent and showing up and giving the material support and giving the free support and showing up in BPM. Also, it's just all appreciated. And I'm extremely grateful for everything that you've ever done. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for everything. So we about to be at 5K, beloved. So shout out, what's up, Twitter? Shout out to everyone that's on Twitter. Twitter, y'all can drop some comments and shit too, I think. What's up, Twitch? What's up, Rosalba? What's up, Northern Witch? Big up to the Twitch fam over there as well. Shout out to Patrick S., our main youngin' holding us down on Facebook. What's up, Pat S.? We appreciate you. So anyway, Abby, thank you, beloveds. Not this weekend, kids. Next Saturday is going to be the Burn It Down with Kim. Oh, that's not what it's called. It's not what it's called. The second Saturday of every month, we have our Around the Fire Disability Support Chat, and that is facilitated by Learn Life and Anna Hart and Mama Lorraine. And they have been extremely dedicated and diligent in doing this. For the new people who may be watching me, I am also a disabled YouTuber. I have disability. It's loads of fun. Oh, my disability. Oh my goodness. It's a laugh a minute. I swear to God, it's like, wow. Anyway, so we talk about shit pertaining to disabled folks and disabled adjacent folks and issues pertaining to caregivers. So if you're just stopping by and you just happen to be swinging through and you're looking for a space to talk about disability stuff, consider joining us every second Saturday of every month for the Around the Fire Disability Support Chat. Please look at our community section to get more information about that. The next disability support chat will be next Saturday. Please don't ask me what's the date of next Saturday. I don't even know what today's date is. Today is the 3rd. Next Saturday is the 11th. 5/11 is going to be our next Around the Fire Disability Support Chat. So if you'd like to join us, just subscribe to the channel and be monitoring our community section. And we will be dropping that information next Saturday on May 11th. So let me say goodnight, everybody. Thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate all the love and the support that you have shown the platform tonight and every night. Okay. So y'all be safe out here in the streets. Thank you so much to Latif, aka Substitute Will, fill in Will. Shout out to the real Will. Shout out to Molly. Please follow Molly on all the socials at Molly Shaw, SHAH. Molly is in Berlin covering a lot of these pro-Palestinian demonstrations. So for some incredible on-the-ground footage, please follow our sister, Molly Shaw, for that. And gang, I will see y'all back here on Tuesday. Please be safe out here in these streets, kiddos. Love you guys. See y'all later. Bye-bye. And I think we can just end in the broadcast, Brother Latif. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.